My husband is in abroad. My son is in abroad. Obodo Ibo chai. So that was the first time I was sexually molested as a child from my cousin. We went to this neighbor's house to watch TV.
Look at me. Tell me what you see.
So guys, I'm back with another video. I grew up in Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria, Lagos. Yeah, I grew up not knowing my dad, or let's say not remembering my dad, because he lived in Germany at that time. So my dad was in Germany for years before he came to Nigeria and then met my mom. So my dad lived in Germany, was married, had 2 kids from a German woman, and then I think he came to Nigeria for holidays or whatever, because he's Nigerian as well, and he met my mom, and they started hanging out, and that's how they got married even, and that's how Linda was created. So basically my mom used to tell me when she was pregnant he used to come to Nigeria a lot, and then when I was a little child, or around 2 years old, he came to Nigeria. I started seeing other people's, other children playing with their dad, and I asked my mom, like, where's my dad? And my mom told me, yeah, your dad lives in Germany. And she always tell me such great things about my dad. For most Nigerians, it was a big deal, or it still is a big deal, if you live in abroad. My husband is in abroad, my son is in abroad, obodo ibo chai, like that's it. Like, people make such a huge thing of living in Europe. But anyways, I remember being so proud and going to school, and my nursery school, and just be bragging about my dad being in Europe. I didn't even know how it looked. She showed me a picture of him. That was the only picture I had, and my dad was pretty light-skinned, and to me, I will always tell people he is kind of white or something. I don't know, I was a child. So yeah, basically I was so proud and so excited about the fact, and just knowing that I have a dad in abroad, and that's what I knew about my dad back then. And then coming back to Nigeria, I'm still, I'm mama's only child. My mom is raising me. My mom works, used to work. Since she's alone, she has to take me to relatives, or people that is gonna take care of me until she closes from work. And I'll always go to uncles and aunties after school when I close. I was in an auntie's place, and I stayed with my cousins and my auntie. So I was 5, and my cousin was not much older than me. He was maybe 10 or 11, I don't really remember. But I mean, he looked older to me, but I was a small little girl. So yeah, so that was the first time I was sexually molested as a child from my cousin. And that really changed a lot. But at that time, I really didn't understand what it means. But as a kid, I felt it wasn't really right. And obviously my mom is working a lot, and I still have to go there, and it happens not only once, not only twice, all the time. Yeah. So in Nigeria, we used to have a TV, and our TV kind of broke, And so what we always do is we go to a neighbor to watch TV. Every kid went there to watch TV, because the thing about Nigeria is there is no light 24/7. You know, let me just say, like, you are right now at home, you're watching Netflix, and the light goes off. I grew up in that environment. I still remember it. So at any time the light can just switch off, and you don't know when they're gonna bring you don't know when the light, you know, is gonna come. So it's something that you cannot imagine when you live when you live here in Europe. But that's what's happening in Nigeria even till today, which I do not understand for a country like that is actually wealthy. Anyways, so I think these neighbors, they had like, you know, somehow they could get light. I think they had a generator. Like, those who can afford a generator had a generator. And if you have a generator, you can you know, you can create light, and you can watch TV and do whatever you want. So we as neighbors, we used to run to that neighbor, and it was like a group of, you know, men living there. But since there were a lot of children and, you know, other women and stuff going there to watch TV, the room is always kind of packed. I think, you know, most parents just felt safe allowing their children to go there. And we, because they're our neighbor, we actually knew them as good people. Yeah. So I think there was one day I came from, no, not from school, but I came from my uncle's house at home. I came home by myself because I knew my mom was going to, you know, come an hour later. And so what I'll just do, I came home, and then I was just outside and just playing with the kids and waiting until my mom came. And one time while I was waiting for my mom, you know, we and some other children, we went to this neighbor's house to watch TV, and this neighbor also molested me. And yeah, so so as that happened, you know, I didn't really know. I mean, I already experienced it with my cousin before. So in my mind, I think it's normal. You know, I think it's just a game. I don't really know what is going on. But in my mind as a child, like, I still feel it's not really right. But, you know, yeah, so I really didn't tell my mom anything about it.